بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن نبينا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا. Welcome my brothers in Islam to lesson 178 of Arabiyyah to Bayna Yadayk, book 1, part 1 of the new version. وقفنا أيها الإخوة عند صفحة 104 عند صفحة 114. We stopped at page 114 وتحديدا and exactly عند السطر الثاني at the second line عند كلمة الزوجة at the word الزوجة. So الزوجة أيها الإخوة is the wife, because if زوج is husband, then by adding the ta you get the feminine form, what is الزوجة. And when we drop the al إذا حذفنا على التعريف سنجد زوجة وجمعه زوجات. زوجات, what is wives. كتبت بين قوسين, I've written between two brackets, نكتة, a joke. قلت, I said, وكثير من الإخوة, and a lot of the brothers, يحبون هذا الجمع, they love this plural form, what is زوجات. And this is a joke where there is no lie in, so that's allowed, my brothers in Islam. طيب. وجمع نكتة نكت, jokes. فائدة, a benefit إن شاء الله. زوجته, what is his wife. مرادفة is synonymous to امرأته. So امرأته is his wife. زوجته is his wife. امرأتي, my wife. زوجتي, my wife. So when we shed some light بإذن الله on the word امرأة with همزة الوصل and a kasra, امرأة, it's actually a woman. امرأة is a woman. والجمع نساء. يعني the scholars, they say هذا جمع من غير لفظه. This is a plural that is not from its kind. يعني look, امرأة, subhanallah, the plural is totally different. Do we find Hamzat al-Wasl in the plural? No. Do we find a mim in nisa'un? No. Do we find a ra in nisa'un? لا. لا نجد الراء. هل نجد التاء المربوطة مثلا؟ لا نجد التاء المربوطة في هذا الجمع. إذن هذا جمع من غير لفظه. It doesn't look at it at all. And this is, as far as I know, not very common in Arabic. You know, you have this link normally, okay? كتاب كتب, okay? مهندس مهندسون, مدرسة مدارس. You can see the link. إذن أيها الإخوة, امرأة is a woman. هذه امرأة غنية, this is a rich woman. Or with L, if you put L with امرأة, you drop the همزة الوصل. هذه المرأة مريضة, this woman is ill, is sick. المرأة, the همزة الوصل is totally gone. إذن, in which situation, my brothers in Islam, في أي حالة, in which situation, نجد معنى امرأة, do we find the meaning of امرأة, نعم, يعني في أي حالة, in which situation, نجد معنى امرأة مرادفة لزوجة, أو لزوجة. In which situation do we find that the word imra'atun means wife, or is synonymous to wife, because imra'atun is a woman? في حالة واحدة, in one situation. وهي, and that is, إذا كانت هذه الكلمة مضافة. If this word is مضاف, in that situation, imra'atun means wife. Okay. مثلا, because when I say مضاف, قد يكون, عندما أقول مضافا, قد يكون مضافا إلى اسم ظاهر, وقد يكون مضافا إلى ضمير. So when I say مضاف, it can be مضاف to an apparent noun. امرأة خالد, the wife of Khalid. امرأة الجار, the wife of the neighbor. امرأة سعيد, the wife of Sa'id. This is called اسم ظاهر, an apparent noun. And the second type of mudaf, and in that situation it also means wife, it's when it's mudaf ila dhamir, to a pronoun. Imra'atuhu, his wife. Imra'ati, my wife. هل هذه امرأتك? Is this your wife? نعم, هذه امرأتي. So when it's mudaf to a pronoun, then as well it means the wife of imra'atuka, imra'atuhu, his wife, imra'atuhu. قال الله تعالى, Allah the Exalted said, تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب. Perish the two hands of Abu Lahab. And perish he. So strong, this ayah. And he was the uncle of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Okay? But, my brothers in Islam, Bilal radiallahu anhu, who was a slave from Al-Habasha, now this Ethiopia, he's in paradise. As for the uncle, blood relation, uncle, close family, uncle is not a far family. Where is Abu Lahab? تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب. And that's why it's almost a joke if a person doesn't pray and doesn't worship, and he said, but Akhi, I'm from Ahl al-Bayt. I'm the family of the Prophet ﷺ. Subhanallah, you're not the only one who is a family of the Prophet. Abu Lahab was also the family of the Prophet ﷺ. تبت يدا أبي لهب وتب. ما أغنى عنه ماله وما كسب. His wealth and his children will not benefit him. So wake up, brothers. If you're on the wrong path, your company will not benefit you. Your 7, 8 sons, if you're in danger, then you're in danger. Okay? If you're on kufr, your sons will not benefit you. Yes, if you are a Muslim and you leave sons that make dua for you, then yes, as in the authentic hadith. سيصلى نارا ذات لهب. Where will he be, Abu Lahab? He will be burned in a fire of blazing flames. وَامْرَأَتُهُ, هذا هو الشاهد. This is how the scholars say. They say هذا هو الشاهد. This is what it's all about. هذا هو الشاهد. Okay, but because it's a short surah, I prefer to mention it all. وَامْرَأَتُهُ. What means وَامْرَأَتُهُ? حَمَّالَةَ الْحَطَبِ. And his wife too. And his wife too, who carries wood. She will also be in fire, subhanallah. في جيدها حبل من مسد. In her neck is a twisted rope of masad, palm fiber. Allahu Akbar. Can you withstand that for 1 minute? How about, I don't say 1,000 years, because this is forever. This is not time related. It's just continuously, without stop, million years. If I say million, then I have, how they say, then I have restricted the time. If I say, yeah, it's a million of years. ولا يدخلون الجنة حتى يلج الجمل في سم الخياط. And they will not enter the paradise, as Allah mentioned in Surah Al-An'am, until the camel goes in the eye of the needle. Have you ever seen a camel? Even a baby camel cannot go through the eye of a needle. In other words, impossible. So وَامْرَأَتُهُ, here we have the word imra'atun, what is mudaf to a damir. وَامْرَأَتُهُ. The Hamzat al-Wasl is not being pronounced because it's not in the beginning of the sentence. So imra'atun, وَامْرَأَتun, and a woman. And if it's mudaf to a damir, وَامْرَأَتُهُ. Here, وَامْرَأَتُهُ. Wa is called حرف عطف, it's a connecting letter. وَامْرَأَتُ, because you know it's imra'atun with 2 dhamma. So when you see 1 dhamma, you say, hey. Then you have to stop. Why is 1 dhamma instead of 2? It's normally imra'atun. إذن وَامْرَأَتُ is mudaf, and who is damirun muttasilun, is a attached pronoun, في محل جر مضاف إليه. Okay, it's in a situation of majroor, mudafun ilayh. And the pronoun is here mabniyun ala dhammi. It's fixed on a dhamma. You cannot say وَامْرَأَتُهِ. Yeah, okay. Anyway, this is the situation. وقال تعالى, Allah the Exalted said, يا نساء النبي. This is another thing. So when the word nisa'un is women, okay? في البيت نساء, in the house are women. لا تدخل, don't enter. في البيت نساء, in the house are women. Okay? When the word nisa'un is mudaf to another word, then it can also mean wives. هل هذه القاعدة مضطردة? Is this rule or principle مضطردة, يعني in all situations? لا. لكنها كثيرة. But this rule is a lot, that when the word nisa'un is mudaf, that in many situations it means wives. But if I say, for example, nisa'ul qaryati, the women of the village, nisa'ul madinati, the women of the city, nisa'ul hayyi, the women of the area or the neighborhood. But if it's mudaf to a person, whether it's an apparent noun like an-nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or a damir, nisa'uhu, his wives, if he has multiple wives, Allahumma barik. So nisa'uhu or nisa'un nabiyyi, this is a mudaf ilayh situation where it mean wives. مثلا قال الله تعالى, Allah the Exalted said, Ya nisa an-nabiyyi, O wives of the Prophet, لستن كأحد من النساء. When you copy paste, sometimes you get these symbols that you don't put yourself, but it just comes like that. Because I send it's on the iPad, and then from the iPad it goes to this laptop, and then something happens. Sometimes you see some symbols, etc. إذن يا نساء النبي لستن كأحد من النساء إن اتقيتن فلا تخضعن بالقول فيطمع الذي في قلبه مرض وَقُلْنَ قَوْلًا مَعْرُوفًا. This ayah is so great. So the word nisa here is mudaf, and an-nabiyyi is mudafun ilayh. Sallallahu yani loved an-nabi is mudaf ilayh. So, O wives of the Prophet, you are not like any other women if you keep your duty. And then this great advice to the wives of the Prophet ﷺ, and of course also to all the women of Islam nowadays, who beautify, some of them that beautify their voices to men that are not a mahram for them. They beautify their voices when speaking on the phone, when on the street, when in the shop. They beautify their voice to strange people that are not their mahram. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said? فَلَا تَخْضَعْنَ بِالْقَوْلِ. Then be not soft in speech. Okay? Don't be soft in speech when you speak. Okay? So you don't beautify your voice to strange people. Why not? Lest he in whose heart is a disease should be moved with desire. فَيَطْمَعَ الَّذِي فِي قَلْبِهِ مَرَض. So if the person has an ill heart, then you will move his heart with desire by softening your voice to this strange person. طيب, فائدة أخرى, another benefit inshallah, الزوجاني, or without al, زوجاني, because dual form is always with a noon with one kasra. So whether you say زوجاني or الزوجاني. Okay, ما معنى الزوجاني? This is in the default situation, it's called مرفوع, and the dual form in the منصوب and مجرور situation will have a ya instead of an alif. Okay, so when it's mansub, you say رأيت زوجين. Here it's مفعول به. The alif becomes a ya. ذهبت إلى زوجين. Here it's مجرور. The alif becomes a ya. So زوجاني, this is مرفوع. Okay. ما معنى زوجاني? الزوجاني له معنيان, has two meanings. الرجل وامرأته, the man and his wife. Okay, or you can say الزوج وزوجته. Okay, so when you say زوجاني, it's a couple, a man and his wife. Okay, but زوجاني can also be two husbands. خالد وسعيد زوجاني, يعني هو متزوج وهو متزوج, both are married. But mostly في أغلب الأحيان, in most situations, when you say عندما تقول زوجاني, when you say زوجاني, or when it's منصوب or مجرور, you say زوجين, then it means the husband and his wife. قال الله تعالى, Allah the Exalted said, وأنه خلق الزوجين الذكر والأنثى. Surah An-Najm, الآية الخامسة والأربعون. فائدة أخرى, another benefit inshallah, قد يطلق الزوج على الزوجة وعلى العكس. Okay, I want you to focus here. زوج is husband, زوجة is wife. Up to here everything is clear and easy. But if I say to you, زوج can also be a wife, that can be kind of a shock to some of you brothers. زوج can also be a wife, بحسب السياق, depending on the context. So زوج is husband slash wife. As for زوجة, like I said, ولا العكس, and not the opposite. زوجة can also only be a wife. زوجة can only be a wife. As for زوج, it can be husband slash wife. كما في القرآن الكريم, as in the noble Quran, قال الله تعالى, وقلنا, and we said, وقلنا يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة. Surah Al-Baqarah, الآية الخامسة والثلاثون. And we said, O Adam, اسكن أنت, dwell you, masculine, أنت, يعني you Adam, dwell you. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say after that? وَزَوْجُكَ, not وَزَوْجَتُكَ. You and your, how is this translated? زَوْجُكَ, you would say, زَوْجٌ is masculine. No, here it's feminine. وَزَوْجُكَ, and your wife. Dwell you and your wife in the paradise. وَهَكَذَا الْجَمْعُ. Okay, even the plural, because زَوْجٌ أَزْوَاجٌ, زوجة زوجات. So the word أزواج can also be wives. قال الله تعالى قل أنبئكم بخير من ذلكم قل أنبئكم بخير من ذلكم للذين اتقوا عند ربهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وأزواج مطهرة. وأزواج مطهرة. Look to this feminine adjective, نعت. If أزواج, يعني if أزواج was here husbands, it would be مطهرون. But look to this feminine adjective with the ta marbuta. وأزواج مطهرة. We'll go to the translation in a bit. ورضوان من الله. والله بصير بالعباد. سورة آل عمران, الآية الخامسة عشرة. Say, shall I inform you of things far better than those? For المتقون, there are gardens where their Lord, underneath which rivers flow. Therein, eternal and purified wives. وأزواج, wives. So زوج can be wife, and أزواج can also be wife, and زوج is husband, and أزواج is also husbands. So it's a shared noun. It's single and plural form. وأزواج مطهرة, and purified wives. And Allah will be pleased with them. And Allah is all seer of the slaves. فائدة ثالثة, a third benefit inshallah. زواج, the word زواج is marriage. You should know this word because it's linked to زوج and زوجة. زواج is marriage. والزواج نصف الدين. Marriage is the half of the religion. So زواج is marriage. والفعل المتعلق بالزواج, and the verb that is related to marriage, هو تزوج. So this verb is important. تزوج is the he form past tense. He married. تزوج خالد, meaning Khalid married. So what you have to know, my brothers in Islam, is when you use this verb, there are two ways to use it. You can use it without a preposition, تزوج خالد خديجة, or you can use it with a preposition. And which preposition is that? It's be. تزوج خالد بخديجة. I think that using the be form is more famous. استعمال باء الجر أشهر is more famous. لكن عدم استعماله ليس خطأ, but not using it is not a mistake. Okay? يعني تزوج خالد خديجة, straight away. فعل verb, فعل ماض past tense verb. خالد فاعل, what is the subject? خديجة مفعول به object. لحظة من فضلكم. تزوجت, I married. You can put full stop. You don't have to say who you married with. تزوجت قبل سنة, a year ago. تزوجت حديثا, recently married. تزوجت مؤخرا is also recently. تزوجت. إذن تزوج, and after that we go to the present tense يتزوج. يتزوج normally is used with حرف استقبال, a future tense letter. Say خالد سيتزوج بعد الصيف إن شاء الله. Khalid will marry after the summer inshallah. Or خالد سوف يتزوج if it's long term future. خالد سوف يتزوج بخديجة إن شاء الله. إذن فعل الأمر, the command verb تزوج with the شد and a فتحة, marry, تزوجا. Now the issue with تزوجا, it's very rare. هذا نادر جدا. يعني استعمال هذا المصدر, using this مصدر, نادر جدا, is very rare. So تزوج يعني it's very rare. You can better use زواج. زواج أشهر, it's more famous, but it's not a مصدر of تزوج. Okay? فهو متزوج, he is married. خالد متزوج بخديجة, Khalid is married with Khadija. والمفعول متزوج, وهو اسم مفعول غير مشهور. It's not a famous اسم مفعول. ولا أعرف معناه, I don't know its meaning. متزوج. As for متزوج, it's very common. وهي متزوجة is the feminine اسم فاعل. She's married, very famous. وهو مرادف للفعل. Okay, there is another verb inshallah of تزوج, and inshallah we will start with that the next lesson inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.